Welcome back, everybody. It's time for a little bit of news. Well, it's a reality that most children will be going back to school online this year, but now health officials are wondering how much screen time is actually safe for your kids. 47 ABC's Taylor Lumpkin has more now.
For most students across Delmarva, this is what the beginning of their school year will most likely look like.
To the Republic, for which it stands.
Classes now being taught online amid the coronavirus pandemic. And as schools in Maryland roll out their remote learning plans, health officials are working to figure out what effects virtual learning will have on students.
We don't have a lot of good research on what happens with virtual education across the board. This is new.
According to the American Academy of Pediatrics, they recommend children over the age of 2 to limit their screen time to about 2 hours a day, a time that some schools here on the shore are already aiming for their pre-K and younger students.
They're going to be on the screen a lot less time. So a 2-hour period during that time might be all that we get.
But we're told the older the students are, the more time they'll be spending online for their classes.
The highest block of time we have is 3 hours, which is our middle school and high school kids.
When it comes to high school, obviously, it's even more time because each teacher will have a window of about 40 minutes for those classes, and they have 5 classes.
Health officials we spoke with say it's too early to tell if online learning will affect students as much as kids who spend way too much time on media devices.
I think there's a big difference between sitting on the screen and listening to your teacher talk to you about math than randomly scrolling through YouTube.
But we're told the best thing to do for now is to be involved and monitor your child's behavior.
I always tell parents, check in with your kids. Every kid is different. If your kid is getting headaches in the afternoon, I'm not a medical doctor, right? But you think maybe that's because they're staring at a screen all day. All right, let's see how we back that up.
Health officials say if you still want to limit screen time for your kids after they're done with school, parents can download a screen time app. The American Academy of Pediatrics also says that you should strive for balance with your family and come up with a quote-unquote media plan so that you can prioritize your daily activities. Well, staying on the topic of schools, with many schools going virtual this year, the issue of internet connectivity has become a real problem. However, the state of Maryland is trying to help with that. Talbot County will be on the receiving end of $100,000 in state funding. We're told that this money will help students who can't get connected to the internet and buy more devices.
That $100,000, it will go very quickly, but it goes to devices, it goes to set up and hook up, it also goes to some cameras, and it also goes to paying for that monthly fee.
We're told the district has spent more than $250,000 on devices in a small system of 4,700 kids. We're also told that they're worried about sustainability. So if that state funding gets cut in order to help with these grants, significant changes in Talbot County, like cutting staff, may need to happen. Well, shifting gears, tonight we continue our previews of the candidates who have tossed their names in the ring for the position of Wicomico County Executive. On the list of 4 is current County Councilman Joe Holloway. Some of his top priorities, he says, would include getting the county, well, that's the logon right there. That's the white screen. Seem to have technical difficulties there. That's the video we're looking for. His top priorities will be getting the government back in order. He says as of now they are missing quite a few department heads, so he wants to get that squared away. He also says he wanted to repair the relationship between the county executive's office and the council. Now, when we asked Holloway what his biggest asset would be to the county, he says it would be his experience.
I've been on the county council for 15 years, so I have a really good working knowledge of how the county does work. I've seen how it shouldn't work in the past. Like I say, I've been there since 2006, so I think that's the biggest asset.
Now, one thing we also wanted to talk about with the councilman is the vote for county executive. Now, there are only 7 members on the council, and a winner would need a majority vote. So we asked the councilman if he would recuse himself, and he says that's actually a question he posed to the ethics committee. He says if they allow him to vote, then he will. The council has said that they will make a decision by the first week in September. Along with Holloway, Delegate Carl Ennerton Jr., Dr. Renee Desmaris, and former county employee Michelle Ennis have also applied for the executive position. Of course, you can find the interview with Delegate Carl Ennerton Jr. on our website. That's 47abc.com. Well, we move now to Delaware, where the food bank announced that they will be extending their Kids Weekend Backpack program to become year-round. The Community Relations Director for Delaware's Food Bank, Chad Robinson, says normally they just do the backpack program during the school year and not during the summer. But after this summer, they saw the need for food insecurity increase. especially because of the impacts of COVID-19. We're also told that since many parents are starting to go back to work and kids will be doing more virtual learning for school, this food is even more necessary for kids who maybe won't have an adult at home to help provide meals.
There are always those challenges that exist. And now, obviously, with COVID and all of the unique situations that's creating, we just know that this opportunity to get that fresh food, that nutritious food out to folks, out to kids is really important.
The food bank says they're still looking at how they will get backpacks to kids during the school as districts announce their reopening plans. Now, speaking of school, I think some people are going to enjoy a few more weekends before they head back. Ulysses Garcia, what does this weekend look like?
Yes, Julian, we have a couple more weekends, and this weekend, though, not really the best, but not really the worst. But if you really got to take advantage of it, take advantage tomorrow, because right now Sunday is looking to be a little bit more dicier with the weather. So let's talk about that in just a moment. This is what's happening right now in our Morse Roofing and Siding SkyCam in Rehoboth Beach. Right now, a tranquil night. We did have a good amount of rain, especially over the midshore earlier today, with areas, especially in Talbot County, approaching 2 inches of rain. Weather watchers right now, Chuck and Lewis at 72, John and Fenwick at 74, Ted and Millsboro at 75 degrees. And across the peninsula here, as we're now getting closer towards 11:30, 74 in Easton, 72 in Georgetown, 75 in Ocean City. So definitely a warm night ahead. Those winds, though, mostly coming in out of the north right now, lighter than they were early this afternoon, right around 5 miles an hour on average. And even at the beaches, we saw those winds up to 20 miles an hour at some points. And we're going to see more of those breezy conditions here as we go through the next few days. Tomorrow, up to 15 miles an hour along the beaches, out of the east or even out of the northeast. But really, Sunday is going to be the breeziest day with those winds up to 20 miles an hour out of the northeast. And even some occasional gusts can even reach 25 to 30 miles an hour. So really just things are finally quiet here, especially over the midshore where we saw those heavier rain accumulations. And as we head into your Saturday, though, it's really going to be a quiet one, but those clouds will stick around. And you'll notice that in the futurecast in just a moment. Now out here, this is actually Tropical Storm Kyle. And the reason for the clouds here on Delmarva is because there's actually a stalled out front, and there's also a low pressure over parts of the Appalachians. That will eventually push in on Sunday, and that's why the cookie will crumble here when it comes to rainfall and those winds on Sunday. So the latest on Kyle, though, a tropical storm now up to 45 miles an hour. The good news, though, pushing further and further away from the United States and from Canada. And it's really going to die off as we go into early next week. So here's the futurecast as we go into your Saturday. Good amount of cloud cover, a couple of moments of sunshine here and there, but really it's going to be a better of both weekend days, because notice here by the time we go into your Sunday, we're already going to start increasing the rain chances as we go into your early Sunday morning, and that's going to continue throughout the day. Mostly just a scattered variety. We're also going to have those winds as well. So just make sure to have that rain gear more so on Sunday, but just have it just in case for your Saturday. So for tonight, 60 to 73 degrees. There still is that slim chance of a shower possible. By the time we go into your Saturday, 78 to 83 degrees. So a little bit cooler because those winds are coming in out of the ocean. Small craft advisory in effect for the Atlantic, winds out of the northeast at 15 knots, on the Chesapeake out of the northeast at 10 to 15. And also not really recommended to go out to the beaches this weekend. Moderate rip current on Saturday, but a high one on Sunday. And then as we go into the work week, drier conditions, especially for Tuesday. Julian?
All right, Ulysses, that is it for the news portion of the show. When we return, we're bringing you this week's top plays, sponsored by Delaware Appliance. Remember, this is DSI.
Hi, my name is Malachi Waters from Indian River High School basketball. You're watching Delmarva InsideSports.com.